Hello again. It's my privilege to present the Canadian Jewish Literary Award in Fiction to The Gown by Jennifer Robson. The Gown is an intricately woven tapestry of family, love, friendship, and the importance of remembering. It crosses so many literary genres. It's at once a historical novel, a romance, a mystery, and an inspiration. Above all, it's a stunning novel with great storytelling. Dr. Jennifer Robson is a historian and the offspring of historians. She thought about writing about the wedding of the then Princess Elizabeth to Philip in 1947. It was a momentous occasion because it was a glittering moment after the bleakness of the war. Then she thought about writing specifically about the princess's shimmering gown with its embroidery of over 10,000 pearls. And then she thought about writing from the perspective of the women who actually sewed the pearls onto the dress. Set in 1947, it's after the horrors of the Holocaust, and one of the gown's main fictional characters is Holocaust survivor Miriam Dassin, who had left the Ravensbrück concentration camp for women with her life, but without her entire family or anything else. This is a story about how she regains her will to live through friendship and resilience. Jennifer Robson can't be with us today. She has a commitment elsewhere, but Jennifer's sister, Kate Robson, is with us. She's going to accept on behalf of Jennifer Robson, but Jennifer was kind enough to send us a video message.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to begin by apologizing for my absence. If not for a previous commitment, I would be with you now. When Edward called with the news that The Gown had won this year's CJLA award for fiction, I had just parked at my daughter's school. And it's a good thing I was parked because I was so surprised and so overwhelmed that I couldn't think clearly for a few minutes. I am deeply honored by the award, and I want to thank you most sincerely for recognizing my work. Miriam, the heroine of The Gown, is someone I've grown to love over the past few years. And I know that may sound a little quirky to those of you who don't live with writers, but it is a thing. I spend months getting to know my characters, and I live in their minds and their hearts, and I try to put myself in their place as I imagine what they experience, what they endure as their lives unfold. It took me a long time to write The Gown, but Miriam was familiar to me from the start. I saw her face, I knew her voice, and I was familiar with her character long before the rest of the book took shape. She was essential to its creation, in large part because I knew I would not write a book set in the aftermath of the Second World War without including the calamity of the Holocaust at its very center. But I was fearful too. I can claim no ties to the Jewish community beyond those of friendship. And I worried that it might seem presumptuous, even hurtful, for me to attempt to tell the story of a Jewish woman, of her suffering and her survival. But I also knew, even as I worried, that Miriam's story had to be told. Miriam is a fictional creation, but her story is rooted in truth. It's a truth that has been besieged from the start, much to my horror as a historian. And as the survivors of the Holocaust become fewer and fewer in number, and the decades pass, its truth has begun to fade from our collective memories, but never from mine. In The Gown, one of my characters is a history professor named Daniel Friedman. He is also Miriam's grandson. In one scene, set in the modern day, he's asked why he became a historian. This is his answer: because of my grandmother and the murder of her family, my family. I've been studying and writing about the Holocaust in France for close to 20 years. And even if I keep on for another century, I'll still have questions to ask. I'll still be searching for answers. Another character then asks him, "Isn't it depressing?" "At times, yes," he says, "but that's true of a lot of jobs. And I only live with the shadow of what happened, whereas my grandmother's entire life has been marked by it, scarred, if I'm honest. So I cannot bring myself to turn away." It is that unwillingness to turn away that led me to create the character of Miriam. I also believe it's the reason that many of us have gathered to celebrate the best in Canadian Jewish literature today, and I am profoundly grateful to be included in your celebration, even at a distance. Thank you again, and my congratulations to the other winners.
So I'm very pleased to present the Certificate of Accomplishment to Kate Robson for her sister Jennifer.
And I just have a very short statement to add. I just want to say, mostly, I love being Jen's sister because I love her. She's a wonderful person, and I wish you all the pleasure of getting to meet her at some point. But also, sometimes I get to come to things like this and meet the most extraordinary and interesting people and receive the most thoughtful and generous hospitality. And so I want to say my thank you to the organizers because I think you've done such a wonderful job. And I'm very moved by the thoughtfulness you put into every part of this. Thank you. And I do want to underscore how meaningful this award has been for my sister. She writes fiction, but at her heart, she is an historian, and that passion for history is something that runs deep in my family. And so by honoring her, you also honored my family. So on behalf of all of us, I want to say thank you.